Hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's good to be back again for our next post-lunch session. I'm extremely excited and really glad to have a very good friend and an old industry colleague, Mr. Tim Clapp, who I had the honor of working together, although not in the same company, but in the same industry some time back. Tim is a veteran from the printing industry, and he has worked with all the major, OEMs in the printing space, whether it's analog and digital. He right now is the managing director is a Belgian-based flexographic printing machine manufacturer, and is officially posted in Kuala Lumpur, but he was traveling to Thailand when the pandemic started, and I was just chatting with him. What a great way to get quarantined. So Tim, I hope you have had a good break and all excited. We have been working together for this print pack impression. I'm so glad to see you, and I welcome you now on the stage and take over. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pan, for the very nice introduction.
Tim, your mic is mute.
Oh.
No, we are not hearing you, Tim. I think there's some.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. So
Akash, is it mine or can you hear Tim?
Can you hear?
I can't hear Tim.
Yeah. Okay.
We can hear him. Okay, it's something my problem. Go ahead.
Okay. So Pankaj, thank you very much for your introduction. I'm indeed based in Thailand now because of the situation, and normally in Kuala Lumpur. Just one correction: MPS is a Dutch company based in the Netherlands, not in Belgium. It's nearby, but it's based in the Netherlands. Let me share my presentation. Can you all see this? Okay, then. So what I would like to present to you today is how connectivity or sensor technology will transform and I think even disrupt the label print production. Yeah, so of course this whole sensor technology is having a big influence on all kinds of production environments. You read more and more about smart factories, and which also is have an effect in the printing world. But I will specifically have it today about the label print production. And the slide, the picture that I would like to show you is a picture about Formula One. If you look at the left top corner of the slide, you see a number of experts looking at monitors. Now, they call this in Formula One world mission control. And in there, they can see the total behavior of the Formula One car. And they get a huge amount of information. So they get information. Oh, is it not in slide? Okay, let me see how to do that. Can you see my slides? Can you still see it now? Okay, so I was saying that in the left top corner you see the specialist sitting in the mission control room, and here they get all the data about the Formula One car. Yeah, data like about the wheels, the tires, the brake temperatures, G-forces, vibration. So all this is measured, and that is of course measured so that they have a better idea what the Formula One car is doing, and as such win the race. And actually they analyze this data not only to win that specific race, but also to make the cars better so that they can win the future races. So basically they have a complete digital twin of this Formula One car. They mirror the car. Now, if you now go to the label printing world, so we have this pretty high cost machine. I mean, the price of a label printing machine varies from 300,000 euro to maybe 3 million euros sometimes. Of course, we get some information from these machines. Yeah, you get the speed, you get some mechanical, electrical error information, maybe some pressure information, but certainly you don't get details about how long certain components are being set up, how many times the register buttons are being pressed, and you know, how the unwinder, the rewinder are being set up. You don't know. You actually don't really know the level of productivity, of the level of efficiency of the machines. Of course, you can ask your operators to type in certain data or maybe scan it. Well, you get some data, maybe 10, 20 elements per job. Certainly not hundreds of data input per minute. And yeah, I have actually seen operators doing that, and that data entry is of course a bit of a time waster sometimes, because it costs time to enter the data. So basically what we are having in the printing world is a black box and in a production environment. And that's quite funny because, I mean, this sort of expensive machine should actually pay all our salaries, should generate the profits. We have analyzed many production environments. And what we could see is that in some cases, the printing machines are running maybe for 30% of the time. Now, that's enormous. Yeah? That means that for 70%, the machines are not running. And obviously, to earn back the investment, you should run that machine continuously. That machine should actually not stop. So just, you know, print and print and print so that you can earn back that machines. Now, so what we would like to do is get a better insight in what's going on. Yeah, you have, during the production of a machine over life, you have all kinds of ups and downs. We want to know that. We want to know what's really going on. I mean, are these logistic issues or are these operations issues, and why are these operations issues? You would like to have more consistency in your production. So basically, we want to have the printing presses, the label printing press, on par with the Formula One world. Yeah, what we would like is to have, again, this digital twin of the label press. Yeah, we want to mirror it. We want to see exactly what's going on. How long the unwinder is really being set up. How long the setup time in total is being done. How is the register being put? Because some operators love to press the registration button. Now, that might not be good. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's not good. So you want to know, you want to benchmark operators and also different machines in the industry to see what makes most sense, what leads to the highest efficiency and productivity. So this is possible. Yeah, this is possible by putting many sensors in the machine. Yeah, many sensors plus servers who collect this data, and then you need software to represent what's going on with this machine. Basically, by doing that, you can have an exact representation of what your machine is doing throughout the day, as long as you have internet access. But I would like to show you a few types of reports. In this report, it's basically a bird's eye view of what is happening throughout the week. Yeah, so you have Monday through Friday, and those blue bars are showing the jobs, and the height of the blue bar shows you the speed that those jobs are running. So you can see that and see, hey, what's going on? Compare it, you can zoom in further, and by the way, these reports also show you the level of efficiency, the percentages of waste, number of waste in meters, the utilization rate. Now you can zoom in further in time units. Yeah, so to give you one example, we zoom in a little bit more, and you can sit together with your team and say, hey, so why are you running 120 meters a minute for just 1 minute? What happened? Why is there a gap of 1 hour between jobs? Maybe the print sleeves were not there, or the ink was not there. These are very important things to analyze, so that you can identify certain bottlenecks and then take actions for improvement, so that you can run more smooth and more jobs in the future. But let's zoom in a little bit more. Yeah? This is a graph, and 4 graphs, but on the left side you see the time range that the rewinder is being set up. And on the right side you see the unwinder. Now, so take the unwinder, yeah? So there is a difference of 60 minutes to around 10 minutes. Or so there's 60 seconds to around 10 minutes. Now that is a huge difference. So why are some operators able to set up the unwinder in 1 minute, whereas other operators, or maybe the same operators during different jobs, take 10 minutes? I mean, what happened? And we have done this type of analysis with our customers, and you get to real interesting situations that people don't know sometimes how to set up the different components of the machine in the most efficient way. Yeah, so we have made videos to show operators what is the best way of doing that, for example. Now, when you sit with the team, you can say, okay, let's move from those 10 minutes to the 1 minute and save, well, in this case, 9 minutes, but let's say you can just save 5 to 6 minutes per unwinder chains. If you have 10 jobs a day, that's an hour. Yeah, that's just the unwinder. If you think about the rewinder, if you think about all the different components of the machine, it's very easy to gain around 1 hour a day per machine, which is huge, If you think about that for a whole year, you save, let's say 300 days, 300 hours to run more labels. That's huge. Yeah, that could, for some of our customers, that could lead to hundreds of thousands of extra euros profit a year. Yeah. Just now I showed you the comparison of the time of setup with one machine. But of course, you can also do benchmarking with the leaders in the industry, because you only know how good you are if you can compare yourselves with others. So here you have the people who, the companies who do the best, let's say, again, 1 minute to 2 minutes. Then you have the average operators, below average operators. And then you have situations which really do not go well. Well, you want to know this. You want to know from those leaders, and how do they do it? And what should I do to get to those levels? What went wrong? That indeed, it could be not just operations issues, could be logistics issues, but you want to know. And, we realized that these type of gains in efficiency, in productivity, are tremendous. Yeah, in the past we compared machines and said, hey, we can do the registration a bit faster than you, and we have these servo motors which are faster than the others. yeah, great. But the biggest gain to be made, we found out, are in running the machine more efficiently. But of course, you need to know what's really going on with your machine. You need the real details. And that's why this press mirroring, this digital twin, this sensor technology is so incredibly important together with the performance report. Yeah? Basically what you get, the real benefits are, you get full transparency in production, at least of your machine. Yeah? Some companies, they have MIS systems like CERM, label tracks, very good as well, but that gives you information around the machine. It doesn't give you the information that's going in the machine. It doesn't give you the information of the operation. So if you make use of these sensor technologies, this press mirroring, like I like to call it, you have the real transparency in production. You can compare yourself with industry leaders, so you know where your bottlenecks are, where your worst practices are, and actually also your best practices. And based on that, you can make actions to do the improvements. And that is crucial. You have to make the actions for the improvements. Without actions, nothing will happen. Now, when you do that, you get a lot of extra productivity and higher profits. Yeah, so now I want to come back to this action taking, because this technology is not something for the future. It is really here today. I mean, in case of MPS, all our machines, all our new machines are delivered with these sensor technology, the servers. Yeah, you can do the press mirroring. If you look around you to other industries, I mean, we already discussed Formula One. If you know about the developments in self-driving cars, it's all about sensor technology. Think about planes that are ascending and descending without the pilot intervention. It's all there. Retail industry, consumer goods, a lot of sensor technology. The Internet of Things is really here. Yeah, but and back to the machines. If you make use of that, you get a fantastic reports. Sometimes, or in our case, also with help of experts. So we have a team of experts of different disciplines. We have software analysts or data analysts. We have, of course, our print instructors, engineers. We all help to analyze reports and give you suggestions. But it's all up to you, to the printer, to do something about it. Yeah, if you don't take action, obviously nothing will happen. And that's why, on the slides says, keep an open mind, have a process in place that goes for continuous improvement. Yeah, I really like the Japanese concept of Kaizen. Yeah, the continuous improvement concept, so that you keep on looking what can be done better and make actions. Yeah, and that will really help you to increase your productivity, and then of course your profit. So 100% sure this connectivity will just grow more and more and more. I already mentioned at the beginning of my presentation the smart factory. I mean, you read about it continuously. I speak about the printing machine. With Flexo technology, it's very much pre-press oriented. So in the pre-press stage, you already know what kind of job you're going to run. So you would know actually the ink level that you need. That means you could actually link to your ink laboratory to make sure you have the right inks. You actually know what analog rollers you need to use. So this goes on and on and on. You can make the links with your suppliers, with your customers, but you have to start. And again, your operation, your organization need to be ready for that. So, well, with this, I would actually like to finish my presentation, and thank you very much for your attention. And I would like to ask, sorry, if any one of you has any questions. Now I stop sharing my screen.
Thank you, Tim. It was wonderful. A lot of enlightenment into intelligence machines. I've got a couple of questions, and I've got one from mine. I will take mine one to the last. So this question comes, I think, from a student. I do not know the identity. What is the big disruption, and how will it change the label packaging industry?
Well, the big disruption is that the printing industry has been for a long time an artisan industry, especially when you go back to the old offset, well, not old, but the offset world where, you know, the ink and the water balance, you know, there was a lot of art involved. What you now, certainly in packaging printing, label printing, it's very much a process industry. But still a lot of people are involved. But this sensor technology gives you so much data, and in combination with pre-press, I mean, you can have a complete automated world because all the things in the machine and around the machine can basically talk to each other. So yeah, I mean, that it will change the way we do business, and the speed of business will increase tremendously.
Okay. Do you feel that, you know, as the technology evolves, you know, over the coming, you know, I would say few years, do you think there will be a role of artificial intelligence in printing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And which area will it be?
Well, again, if you look to label printing, flexo printing, when you get a PDF file and the description of the job, you know a lot already. You know the type of quality, you know the inks. Of course, you know how many you have to produce. You know the deadlines. Actually, you can link everything together. You can basically give a signal to the ink dispenser and the ink laboratory to make sure that the right ink is in your ink trace. You can make sure that the right Anilox roller is in your machine in the right place, depending on what kind of quality you're going to run. You know the sizes, you know the thickness of the substrate. All those things can be done automatically. Yeah, so you take out a lot of the human dimension. Yeah, which is, again, to answer the other question a bit more, which is a big disruption. Yeah, everything becomes much more predictable, and you can track what's going on. So also your customer will know much more in the future than what they know at this moment.
Okay, so let me try and connect these two questions with what my question was. My question was a little bit different. I think both of us have seen that the printing industry owners, one of the big challenges that they have been facing is that how they prepare themselves for the new normal. I mean, this was before COVID and definitely even now. And the interconnecting question is that, and we had a couple of sessions in the morning today. The printing industry has been one of the, I would say, one of those industries which has invested the least in terms of training of their people, of their staff. And most of the trainings which have been there were maybe around, you know, machines or this. And now we're talking about using intelligence where you need to really reskill the people into a complete different way. How to understand data, how to use to take it. So what I'm trying to ask is that as a leading technology provider for the industry, what do you feel should industry do to start educating printing companies to start adopting new things? Because although the adaptation of technology today, it's also right in the forefront, but we have seen a huge chunk of people still staying, as you say, the artisan way. So yeah. How does that gap can be mitigated?
A very good question. You know, what we clearly see when we visit customers and analyze their environments is that the skill level of the operator makes a huge difference on the performance, the efficiency of the machine.
Absolutely.
And then also when you ask to do certain trainings, the preparedness to arrange those trainings and pay for it is not always there. I think it's a mindset shift that is needed. Human capital, the skill levels of operators is hugely important, and continuous training is needed. I totally believe that. It doesn't always have to be physical, person-to-person training. The good thing of COVID is we do much more in video sessions, and that can be trainings. You can do certain short trainings of certain components, but it needs to be planned weekly or monthly, and certainly not every company does that. And I think it's really important.
Excellent. I'm obviously, you said that there is perhaps a lag in terms of adoption in Asia in terms of the latest. Why is it reason? Is it cost a factor? Is it selling price a factor? Why is it that the adoption is always lagging behind, although Asia is the largest packaging and printing market in the world?
Yeah, it's changing though. But of course, in the printing industry, many manual activities could be done. In finishing, and labor cost was not so expensive. And if you would calculate that, buying a device to do the things that were done manually, it was not always easy to get the right ROI. But in labels, you can do so much in line. I think there are different categories of companies. So I'm talking about process-oriented printers. Probably a bit larger ones who have enough jobs and need real efficiency. These are not printers which are the smaller ones in the smaller whatever towns or villages. Nothing wrong with them, but they have a different approach. They are less process oriented. If you are in this industrial printing world, you can't rely too much on manual labor for all the embellishment. I think efficiency, getting your products out just in time, it makes your product, the cost of your product so much lower. If you don't do that, I think you will just eventually lose your business.
Excellent. There's a very interesting question which has come, which is, I know from who has come, and I will not name the name, but it's an interesting theoretical question, but I know it's not going to happen in the immediate future, but yes, long-term, 20 years from now, it could be interesting. So the question is, I need to get a little bit of clarification on what they call new products. The question is 3D printing and label printing combination in the future can create new products? I'll try to attempt this from one side, and then I'll leave it to you, to Tim, to take it up. And I know whoever has put that question. So 3D printing as a technology is not being used for packaging production, but it is being very, very frequently used for prototyping, right? So you can create, prototype mocks for boxes, for bottles, and I know it's been used. I worked in the 3D printing industry for some time, so that's being used. But combining 3D printing with labeling could be a very interesting thing for personalized packaging, especially in digital labels. You can create your own shaped bottles for homemade perfumes. It's a boutique industry. It cannot become mainstream right now, but it's a very interesting thought process, and I think a very enterprising entrepreneur could create a market out of this. It is possible. You can create PET bottles out of 3D bottles, give unique shapes, use labels to create customized thing. I'll leave it to you to let your imaginations go wild.
I think in the conference or at Packimpressions, there are people who know much more about 3D printing than I do. My ex-colleagues at Norde are here as well, and they you know so much more about it. Yeah, I think honestly this is more a 3D printing question.
Yeah.
Of course, you can make prototypes in all kinds of materials with 3D printing. If you put a label on top of that, I don't think that should come from an industrial label printing machine. Yeah. Maybe a small digital label printing press. Yeah, so I suggest have a visit to the Northern booth at the Packimpressions, and they can answer this question very well.
Fantastic. Let me check if there's any other question. No, so I think that's fine. Very, very nice. Thank you, Tim. As usual, you know, I would say European efficiency in terms of time. We are ending right on dot. Thank you very much, and hope you have a great event. And let's be in touch. And all the best for your upcoming trip back to head office. And say my good wishes to your team, family, and thank you once again for supporting us. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Pankaj. Thanks to everyone, and talk to you all soon.
Soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.